Welcome to Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert, known all around the interwebs as Caffeinated Gert. I guess I said that backwards. Anyway, you know the usual spiel. I'm Caffeinated Gert on Instagram and Ravelry if you want to find me at those places. It is Sunday, January the 8th, last day of my vacation. I have to go back to work tomorrow. So sad. So sad. It's been a lazy week, to be quite honest about it. I did lots of sleeping in. I mean, I slept till 10 o'clock one day. That's like ridiculous. And like till like 9 the rest of the week, pretty much. Which is really late for me. So I was excited just to not have to set an alarm clock is what it boils down to. Also this week, my local knit group, we finally met back in person at a coffee shop on Saturday. We've been basically just video chatting here and there, a few people, throughout COVID. And we finally decided it's time to get out there again. So we're going to start meeting locally again on Saturday mornings, which is really nice. It was good to see people that I hadn't seen in quite a while in person and catch up. So, yay that. What else have I got? Got my official diagnosis back from the doctor. It is lichen planus, oral lichen planus, and it's ulcerative and yada, yada, yada. But at least it's not like, cancer or something, so that's good. So what it boils down to is I get to use a sterile cream in my mouth as needed and just be careful about what I eat. So, yay me! Anyway, I have finished the bunny. It took me all week to finish this bunny. Partially because I was a little lazy and partially because there was a lot of counting and keeping up with what I was doing on the bunny, and that just makes me not work on things as much. I like a project where I can memorize what I'm doing and then just go with it. But he's done. He's got big old long legs. I even turned a heel like you would on a sock, but using crochet, so that was cool. Hadn't ever done that before. Here he is. I let Aiden pick out the pink. The pink is from... Ooh, I didn't grab that yarn. Let me go get it. All right, so the pink on the nose I ended up going with. It's a really nice pale pink. I just felt like with this particularly, it goes very well. And I let Aiden go through all the pink yarn that I acquired. A variety of pale pink, and he picked that one, and I really do think it goes best. So it's a Caron Simply Soft. Colorway is Plum Wine. And it's just a great color with this gray. The dark gray is Mighty Stitch worsted weight from Knit Picks. And it is a 80% acrylic, 20% superwash. The Simply Soft is all acrylic. And then the gray yarn I used for the tail, the face, and whatnots is a single DK wool from Two Guys Yarn. I don't remember what the colorway is. I feel like I had 2 skeins of it and I've used it in so many things, and I feel like they're the never-ending skeins of yarn. But I like that it's just a pale gray, but it has some variation in it. It's a little bit tonal. So it gives the projects a little depth. And I just really like that. So here he is, all done. This pattern is, oh my gosh. What did I do with the pattern here? Hang on, let me grab the pattern. Super prepared today. I thought I was. I made a little pile of stuff. The pattern is Hopper the Hare. And the pattern is by Yuki Yarn Designs. Found it on Ravelry. It is a pay-for pattern. It's very well done. Detailed, good pictures. I liked it. It was a very well done pattern. It took me forever to make just because I prefer to work on things that I can just memorize and go with. I have learned this week that watching cooking shows, specifically I watched Selena and Chef on HBO, does not help me crochet because I stop and watch. Versus I watched John Wick, action go boom boom. I crocheted like the wind. So, yeah, when you have to work on something that has to be counted, or for me, if I'm working on something that I have to count and pay attention to, cooking show, things that I want to actually see what's going on are not the things to watch. So, there. He's all done and he's getting lots of love, and I have to give him back to Aiden. He does sit up by himself. He has a nice tail, and here, let me grab this book here. If we sit him, I don't know, the book's not straight. Here, let me, other side would make more sense. Here we go. He does. Are you not going to sit now because I said you do? Come on, my buddy. There. He does, see that my hand's over here. He does sit up by himself, which is nice. I think that's cute. All right, so Hopper the Hare is all done, which completes my Christmas knitting, or crochet crafting. My Christmas crafting is done, y'all. It only took until, I finished him on Friday, so it only took until January the 6th. It is what it is, right? I also finished a 13. So for Ilvermorny, we had a challenge where we talk about our favorite number. Why is it our favorite number? And craft something inspired by that favorite number. And my favorite number is 13. So I was like, what am I going to knit inspired by 13? It's like, well, I can knit something or crochet something like with 13 stripes. And I thought to myself, that's going to take entirely too long. But it's not something I already have planned. And there are other things that I want to be working on. So I made a 13. I looked up some numbers and found these. They're, oh gosh, I don't even remember the pattern. It is on my project page. And it was interesting because, okay, well, this one's super easy. You just cast on and you crochet 2 rows and boom, you're done. This one was interesting because I had never crocheted something where the crochet shaped like the around, and like it's, you know how it's like rounded here. So I actually learned something there, which is always a good thing. This yarn is Red Heart Super Saver in, I think, the Caribou colorway. That's also on my project page. I didn't think about the whole, I crocheted a 13 until I was grabbing the Hopper pattern because it was over there. I have no idea what I'll do with this, but maybe I'll sew it on to something at some point. I don't know. It's a 13. Excuse me. Got tickles. 13. All right. So now I am working on the mini cat squares pillow that I have in progress. I used hand spun to make all my squares. And yesterday, while I was hanging out with the buds, I crocheted them together. So you can see I used this beige yarn, which is from Ninja Chickens. Can't remember what the shop is called. It was naturally dyed. It was dyed and it was a sock blank, and I have cast on many things and was never quite right, and I think it was waiting for this project. It's one of those things. So my hand spun was like worsted weight. This is fingering, so I held this doubled to crochet all my squares together, and then I realized it wasn't big enough for my pillow cover. This is my pillow cover. It's a burlap pillow cover, and what I did for the last mini cat square pillow is I finished my crocheted piece and then I crocheted onto the pillowcase with a small crochet hook, which is easily done because you just poke it in between the burlap pieces. You just poke through there. So it wasn't big enough. So last night I crocheted 2 rounds of half double crochet around, and then before I went to bed I blocked it really well, and it's still not quite there, although stretched it's there. So what I'm going to do today is it's still damp from this morning. What I'm doing today is I'm making the kitty cats. I have one finished. Where did you go, buddy? Here you are. I have the first cat finished. There's a little tail. You got the cat. So I need to crochet 16 of these so I can then, I don't really like block them, but just wet them enough. Oh, this one's okay, but wet them enough to kind of make sure they're laying flat. If they're not laying flat, this one's like I said, this one's okay. So I need to make 16 of these, and then once this is dry, the cats get sewn on to the front. Each little square gets a kitty cat, and once the kitty cats are sewn on, I'm going to take care of the ends. So what I did on the last one and what I'm totally doing again this time is so the cat will take up about this much of each square, like this. So I wove them so that they are behind the cat, and then I'm just tying those suckers off because I am not weaving in all these ends. There's no need to. So, and that's what I'll do again. So after the cats get sewn on, or actually I did them as I was sewing on the cat. So for example, when I do this square, then these ends will get taken care of. And as I move from square to square, sewing on the cats, each square gets taken care of. And then I'm going to go back to this beige. After all the cats are on there, back to the beige, and crochet once around the outside, and then use that yarn to crochet this piece onto my pillow cover. And at that point, if I go back around it once and then crochet it on, it'll be big enough, because you want it to be kind of stretched out so that it covers well, and it just needs a little bit to be good. And I need to finish this project by Saturday, like really Friday night. It needs to be done by Friday night. So that's what I'll be working on this week. Once that is done, I think I'm going to start the kiwi bird. I haven't printed the pattern out yet, so we'll talk about that when I get there. I also have needle adjacent. Not sure when I'll get to cast them on, but I signed up for the year-long West Knits sock knit along. I want to cast on these painting brick socks from Stephen West. Is it West Knits? At some point. I haven't really knit socks in a long time, and I really want to. And then also I was gifted this pattern yesterday. It's the Attune shawl by Andrea Mowry. One of the ladies knitting yesterday had a finished one that she used. She used hand spun. You used 2 different colors. She used hand spun and then a solid of, I don't remember what kind of wool it was, or if she even said. And we all really liked it. So one of the ladies at knitting gifted all of us that. So I don't know if I'm, ooh, I have some fiber that is fingering weight that was spun for me as a gift by Dana, Unwind Yarn Company Dana, that I have been hoarding, waiting for like a really good project. This might be the project for that. So I can use hand spun, but I don't have to spin fingering hand spun. I'll have to think about that. That might be the project for this, or for that yarn, to finally use it. So at some point, especially I need to figure out if I can work this into an Ilvermorny class. I want to cast this on. Don't know when, but these will go on the needles at some point. The kiwi bird has to be done by February, end of February, so I want to do that next. But I think he's little. So it should take that long. And then I have a hat with bunny ears that I want to make for my niece. My niblet. But I promised it like for their birthday, but the birthday's not until May. So I kind of want to get it started, but then I also kind of want to wait and see if I can use it for an Ilvermorny event at some point. I'm not sure. Quit is just starting this week. I'm hoping maybe I can work the kiwi for that or something. I don't know. I would like for it to count for an Ilvermorny something. So I may or may not start that yet. We'll see. All right. You guys have a very lovely week. I will be working on my kitty cat squares, and other than that, I guess I'll just catch you next week. Bye.